established.
Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back. I am super excited and I'm super ready for this, and I can't wait on how I'm gonna do this, but when we get there, it's gonna be a really fun time. So this is episode one of Hannibal. This is, I believe the episode is called Aperitif. Um, you know what? I wasn't sure I was gonna do this, but I think I am. Hold on a second. Sorry. Um, okay. There we go. I wanted to actually do this really cool thing, and I think it would be very interesting. Okay, so yeah, I thought this would be actually very interesting, um, because I have never looked this stuff up. Sorry, this is kind of like in the moment. I'll be more prepared next time, and I will probably actually go through this, as we go along. So, yeah, this is Hannibal episode one, Aperitif. Um, I'll actually kind of look up each episode, the meaning of the title, and then, kind of go through what it means beforehand, because I think this will be very interesting to go through. So the word aperitif refers to both a class of alcoholic beverage and cocktails that they're found in. It is a vast category that includes a great variety of styles. The only common ground is that they typically involve herbs or other ingredients that arouse the drinker's appetite. Okay, so an aperitif is something that helps bring in a person's appetite. That's very interesting. To aperitif means to spark the appetite. For those that have never indulged in any sort of drink, there are a few basics. Something that is light, most often dry, modestly alcoholic beverage meant to spark the appetite without overwhelming the senses. The most famous aperitif is Crodino. If you want to try the most classic of Italian non-alcoholic aperitifs, the first on the list is undoubtedly Crodino, which is an Italian drink. Interesting. That's that is actually very interesting. I've never heard of this. I don't, well, it's actually non-alcoholic and I don't drink, so this sounds like something I could totally get into. Maybe at some point I will try a Crodino and have a good time. Anyway, so let's get into the episode. Um, huge, huge fan of um, oh boy, this is gonna bug me. I believe it's Thomas Harris. Thomas Harris is the famous author to the Hannibal books. Yes, it is Thomas Harris. Um, so the series, I believe, is supposed to go through various parts of the books and bring in a bunch of different characters. I just know that one of my favorite actors in the world, Hugh Dancy, is in this, and my other favorite actor, one of my favorite actors, Lawrence Fishburne, is in this. Oh, and of course, Mads Mikkelsen. So, if you guys have not heard of any of them, go look them up. Go watch movies with them. Blood and Chocolate is still like real fun. Yeah, let's. Okay, well, guys, this is episode one, Aperitif. Um, this was heavy, dude. Heavy. I love it. Um, I really, 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 really love how this turned out. Um, for a moment, I legitimately was like getting lost, and I realized I was like, hold on, how long has this been going on already? Like these episodes are like 40, 42 minutes. Like, wow. It feels like a miniature movie. It's shot like a miniature movie. Um, I I really love how this was going and like what we were getting into. So basically, we have Will Graham, who's not technically an FBI agent. Technically, he's a special agent, um, for only because of a few, possible instabilities that obviously wouldn't allow him to become an actual FBI agent, as we sort of learn from um, the one person he was working with there. Um, wow, we're given Will Graham trying to understand, well, actually coming into the fold with Jack Crawford, head FBI agent of the behavioral science division of the FBI, in tracking down serial killers and psychopaths, and um, how they've come together pulling off crimes and stuff. And we get Will Graham, who's a little on the spectrum, as he said, between Asperger's and autistics, or autism, leaving him socially. Um, I don't know. I don't know the exact term I would put. Uh, Finding social situations a little difficult to deal with. But Jack still gets him on his side to start helping out with these cases. And the first case that we start to deal with is with the Minnesota Shrike. The Shrike, as we find out, is a bird that snatches its prey, uh, and going from there, it's just okay. So a big thing that I've enjoyed so much, especially from this episode, is looking into Will Graham's head. And I think this version of Will Graham, I don't know if you've, okay, if any of you have ever seen the original movies, it's more played from like a slightly different perspective of Will Graham and Clarice Starling, and we get to see highly intelligent people dealing with Hannibal, who is also uh, extremely intelligent, and trying to not I mean not per se catch him, because in the one he's already caught, and in the other, there's something else going on, but his intelligence is off the charts, as we see. And we even learn that this man, I mean, he's talented in multiple ways, he's intelligent in multiple ways, and Jack is like, I need someone to watch Will and make sure that his mental state doesn't go further down the drain than it already does when he's in the middle of doing this job, because they think he's mentally, um, not incapable, but they want someone to keep an eye out, right? And so they originally go to Will's friend, but she doesn't want to do it because she doesn't want to destroy the friendship that she's actually created with Will, which I think is actually admirable in a way, because she knows, like Bloom knows, if they were to do any kind of study, yes, it would have to be done very publicly. She doesn't want to push that barrier with him. And of course, Will doesn't like to be psychoanalyzed. He doesn't like to be looked into like that, especially with, the particular way that he thinks, the way that he can empathize. I assume one way or another, they've probably already assumed that like he's maybe steps away from falling apart in that kind of way anyway. That's my assumption, right? Like, because think about it. If you're working for the FBI, or you're trying to become an FBI agent, and you can't because you're a little bit mentally unstable in the eyes of the FBI, but they still want to keep you around because they accept your intelligence, the way that you work, so they make you a special agent. That that kind of implies that, like, let's use you while we know you're good, because if it was to go the other way, then it's a way scarier situation to look at, right? So, like, I get that's how I see it. And then we get to meet we get to meet Hannibal. We get to see the people who've been murdered, Elise Nichols in this case, how her body is brought back. I especially I really love that scene that Graham's finally just like, yo, he's eating them. But he tried to heal her and bring her back because he felt bad for what he did. And then it's like he's eating them. And then it just shifts to that scene and you see the strawberry and the fig and the pomegranate on the table and you see the very fancy food and all you see is Hannibal just eating eating meat in particular. Not even sure what kind of meat it is. Could be liver, could be, something else, could be like a tiny flank of something. Like it just it puts you in that place where you're like, hold on, is he eating somebody or is he just eating? But it doesn't matter because with Hannibal, uh, he's got a very advanced palate, and that's told along with his education is already incredibly high. When you look at his study, you realize that this man has either read all the books you're seeing there or is one of those people that like I don't know, he exudes intelligence and class. And I feel that when you're looking at that, you can also tell his version of like, because I feel like there's a sense of, what's the word? Almost like, ooh, like manners in a way. If you caught it, there's a point where he's giving his patient the tissue and the guy's like, blows his nose out and then quickly throws it on the side table instead of the little trash can that's close by. And like quickly you see it's almost imperceptible, but it's a little bit of a, and he just quickly looks at it like, are you fucking kidding me? And then in the end he just has to do it himself. Boom, take it, throw it out. And I wouldn't even say that's OCD as much as it is like knowing how to respect your space or other people's spaces. Like he already has this sense of like, you can't even say it's superiority as much as it is like everything has its place and like you should know better. Um, yeah, I love Lawrence Fishburne as Jack Crawford. I think his oh man, that scene where like, what are you doing? I like the smell of urinal cakes. So do I. We need to talk. Somebody walks in. Use the woman's bathroom. Like, he, I, I would have shit myself if Lawrence Fishburne's yelling at me like that. Oh man, let alone you're either a full agent or maybe a trainee in the academy, and Jack Crawford booms at you to just use the women's restroom. Oh my God. uh, you'd lose it. You'd lose it. It's something you wouldn't be expecting, and like the man just airs. He's got this air of like he could fuck you up, and it wouldn't even be in like a bad way. Like he could ruin your career type of way, you know? Like just don't play with me. And I love that we get to meet the rest of the party. Like I said, party, the rest of the party. Sorry, D&D terms. The rest of the crew, for the other scientists, the other examiners or detectives, the lab guys, if you will. I think this is all very fun. I love that we have our cliques, our niches, and then sort of what looks like is going to be a main staple of the show. So we're going to have, I assume, Will seeing something, breaking down the crimes, because if you could tell from the very first bit, like he can break it down to like its most base moments and then replay the activities from the beginning. And it was just by wiping away the facts, right? And I think that's very interesting because you could see Okay, so the first crime we see is a husband and wife shot, right? And we see him basically take the crime from where it is, wipe away the blood, wipe away the people, wipe away the incident, wipe, reverse, 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 up until where he knows the evidence kicks in. So I'm assuming that from when he walked into the house, he was already like, he caught the footsteps on the ground, the deep imprints of the footprints, right? The deep imprints of the guy's boots before, boom the door down. Then, of course, you're going to hear the gunshots. So that's passed on from neighbors or whoever, right? Then you're seeing the evidence of the two or three very precise shots killing the husband, two to the chest, one to the head, and then the wife, because you see how she takes that turn and then she goes in the, okay, cool. When she hears the shots and her husband drops, of course, the first thing she's doing is the alarm's going off, so she's trying to get to it, and freaking, like you said, boom, two precise shots, one to the side and one to the base of the neck or something, cutting off her spinal cord, not killing her, not fatal, but making her unable to move, but not unable to feel pain. Like, that's so insane when you're thinking about it like that. Because then we don't see the aftermath of what he did to her because they don't want to go that far. But they do you do see the body on the ground and you see her head kind of turned at a very particular angle, and then the fact that she'd been, you know, other stuff done to her. And that, man, that's so crazy. But then as he's playing it, he's going, okay, so the next set of events would be, and then the alarm company calls, but then this is set up. It's called in as a false alarm. So he's got, wait a minute, that question. Hi, this is DDX Security. This is Chris speaking. How can I help you? Boom, clicks into his head. He's instantly like, let me get the report on that. And then they're like, this was called in as false report. And then you find out, looking further down, there's another false report from a week ago. You're like, oh. So he was either watching them or he tapped their phone. Now, immediately assuming tapping their phone is crazy. I don't know what kind of technology it takes to do that. I'm assuming it's easier now than it was, what, that was probably 2012, 2015. Um, Yeah, that's actually an interesting question. I don't know the kind of technology it would take to do that, but I don't assume it's super easy to get a hold of unless you know how to get on the black market or something. But this is also the US we're talking about. So in all reality, dude probably went to like a very particular spy store or cross technology store because there's a bunch of those kinds of places around you can find where it's like, hey, I'm looking for like private security stuff, and you'll probably find a guy in the back who's selling like, hey, you want wiretaps? I doubt it's that simple, but you never know, right? So anyway, really fun for the first episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and of course, if you guys want to see more, hit a comment, throw something down there. Let me know that you guys liked it. More likes that I see, the more I can continue the series. And of course, guys, if you want to help us build the community bigger, join any one of the memberships for some extra bonuses, starting at early riser, ending at late to the show, or hit up the Patreon to catch full episodes or the things that I can't post on my YouTube. Until then, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.